Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When we think of a Musi and the type of person who should sign up for al-Wasiyyat, what is the picture that comes to our mind? It's important to understand what that picture is because this is what holds a lot of people back. Many times people think that I'm not righteous enough to be a Musi. I'm not on that level to sign up for al-Wasiyyat. But what is that level that we have in our imagination? Let's take that mental image of a person who we think is worthy of being a Musi and signing up for al-Wasiyyat, and then apply it to the Jamaat as we understand it and as we know it. Does it apply to 5% of the Jamaat? Does it apply to 10% of the Jamaat? According to our estimate, what percentage of the Jamaat does it actually apply to? Because if it is such a high level of sainthood that it only applies to a few people in the Jamaat or a small percentage of the Jamaat, then of course, most of us are not going to want to do Wasiyyat. But the question is that what is the vision of a Musi that Huzur Ayyadahullah has in his mind? Huzur said that he wishes that 50% of earning members and Janda paying members of the Jamaat should become Musis. Now when we look at the percentage that we had in our mind and compare it to Huzur's percentage of 50%, how far off was our estimate? When we look around at 50% of the Jamaat, then what is that level that Huzur wants us to be at? Does this mean that, God forbid, now the level of Musiyan has dropped? That now the standard of signing up for al-Wasiyyat has fallen? Of course not. The problem is that we often underestimate our own selves. In order to become Musis, the primary criteria is that we have a firm intention and resolve that we want to improve ourselves, that we wish to become better people. Huzur Ayyadahullah said that this is such a revolutionary system that if a person joins it with true intentions and later makes sincere efforts for self-improvement, in accordance with the sayings of the promised Messiah ﷺ, then with the blessings of this system, the long spiritual journey that would have taken years to finish will be covered in days, and that of days will be covered in hours. This standard that Huzur described is not something for the top 5 or the top 10% of the Jamaat. It is for the entire Jamaat. All of us can join with true intentions and sincere efforts for self-improvement. This is the entire purpose of being an Ahmadi Muslim. Al-Wasiyyat is not for the top 5% of the Jamaat. In fact, there is no reason why 50% of the members of the Jamaat cannot become Musiyan and make a commitment to Al-Wasiyyat. So when this thought arises in our mind that I cannot do Wasiyyat, I cannot become a Musi because I am not righteous enough, I am not on that level, then that assumption that we have of that imaginary person who is righteous enough to be a Musi is something that we have made up all on our own. The reality and the real standard of joining Wasiyyat is something that has been explained and defined by Huzur, and that is a standard that each and every one of us can make. Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Anhu explained that a time will come when the financial foundations of al-Wasiyyat will become so strong that through it, the needy and the poor of the entire world will be looked after. However, for this to happen, it is necessary for this system to be established throughout the world. And such a large and far-reaching system does not come about overnight. This is the reason why Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Anhu explained that the system of Tariq-e-Jadid has been established. The initiative of Tariq-e-Jadid is there to prepare the ground for al-Wasiyyat. Through Tariq-e-Jadid, we make a special effort to spread Islam and Ahmadiyyat throughout the world. And it is only through that spread of Ahmadiyyat and Islam throughout the world that the foundations of al-Wasiyyat will be established, that there will be Musiyan throughout the world who are contributing. It is only with the full spread of Ahmadiyyat and Islam through Tariq-e-Jadid that the entire system of al-Wasiyyat can be established, and the practical application of the teachings of Islam can come into full fruition. So in these early days of the Jamaat, when it is seen as weak in the world, it is all the more our responsibility to make sure that we sign up for al-Wasiyyat and that we participate in Tariq-e-Jadid so that the spread of Ahmadiyyat can happen through this. Allah Almighty reminds us of the Holy Quran that spend out of that which we have provided for you before death comes upon you. And then a person would say that, my Lord, if only you would grant me a little bit more time, then I would give alms and I would be among the righteous. Whatever reasons come into our mind that keep us back from doing al-Wasiyyat, it is time for us to let go of those excuses now. Huzur has called us forward to join in the grand initiative of al-Wasiyyat. Now it is time that with a sense of urgency we step forward to establish the teachings of Islam within our lives, and also that we strive to establish the teachings of Islam throughout the world.